push on the B bombs by the CTs,
God,
and they're running in it right away. Look at that slaughter, 2v2 already. Well, that doesn't look too good for the CTs anymore. A 1v2, Hellrose and Jinjin with a Tech 9. Oh, but what a shot by Dash. Now it's a 1v1, and Hellrose has to do something about it. She's got a smoke with her, and she can pick up the bomb most likely. There it goes. Now no rotation back towards A or anything like that. Dash playing it very, very nicely. Look at her coming through. Hellrose with the reaction. They're duking it out, and it's Team Heaven winning the pistol round here on the T side, and that's not the start we wanted to have for a reason, right?
What was the chances of that bloodbath happening? Just everybody pushing in that direction. Absolutely horrific to the start of the game. Ends up in a 2 versus 1. Does get down to the 1v1, but unfortunately it is lost by the CT side. And straight away we're going to see the Deeg only coming on to Antika. You imagine she's saving up for that early AWP. And we see 3 rifles as well for the T side. So they're going to try and go pretty heavy on this one and just take those long range battles, but much slower this time. They're not going as aggressive. And you can already see the push come out from the CT side to try and get some info. But I'm not sure if they spotted anyone there.
They fired a shot way back into the alley. I think it was Jinjin sitting there, but it's not really giving them anything to work with necessarily. So for now, it's just the terrorists hanging back. The CTs have a lot of map control, in fact, so that could be quite a change in the game. Now, Bloody Elf is going to pick up the first kill onto Kelly. And right, in a very dangerous position for the terrorists. She picks up 2 kills there. Reasons right back at it.
Yeah, lovely stuff coming out from her. Obviously, the power of the pistols. We do still have 2 rifles left in play, though. But look at that. What a shot. P250 showing why it's worth the $300, I feel.
Yeah. And additionally to that, there was some team damage as well. They sprayed each other. But obviously, the P250 did the majority of the work. That was the real surprise. And that favors Reasons so much now. The terrorists will go for the force buy. They have a Galil. They have 2 Tech 9s and a Mach 10 on Hellrose, but the chances are quite slim, so they go for the B push.
Yeah, want to break that economy back as quickly as possible. There's 3 rifles now, though, on that CT side, not just pistols up close. Elf going to be very close and personal with that P90, and it can do that spray damage. She is relatively alone, as the closest player next is over towards that connector position, but it does look like this build-up is going to come in. This is the most retakeable site in the game, guys, so let's see whether or not they can even get that plant. That will give them the money, but it's not happening. DSH, she finds the bomb plant. It's not going to happen, and there's 2 players left to try and not only get the bomb back, but here we go. Kelly pushes in, finds 1, manages to make this a little bit more doable, but all alone. She gets taken down, and a pretty decent hold comes out, especially if that B side can be very easy to get a plant.
Yeah, and denying that plant is quite important to the CTs as well, and not losing too many men, which they just got done. You know, they built some economy on their own while the terrorists have to hold the horses, or will they? No, they just lost 2 rounds in a row, so they will probably not have enough money. There we go. Only a CZ75, Glocks, and no armor for the terrorists. It's going to be the bum rush into the A-bomb side trying to get the plant, but without smoke, they shouldn't even be able to get into the bomb side, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy here, especially when you see literally the only investment is currently that CZ, and I'm not a big fan of that. If you're going to have that Glock train, you sort of have to go with a couple of nades, in my opinion, but here we go, straight rushing in. They're going to get absolutely demolished here, or they should. The crossfire's already in place, and the bomb trying to sneak in from behind has just been dropped by DS, and she will clear this up. Nice round, economy building, CT side on a roll.
Well done by the CTs, yeah, the flawless. As I already mentioned, it's quite important to keep as many players alive so you can get the orb later on. And they don't necessarily need to pick it up because they have those 5 rifles from the previous round, but we will definitely see an orb if they should lose 1 player. Now let's see what Team Heaven can do with the 5 AKs. By the way, the German flag might confuse you a little bit. They are not entirely German. Only 2 players are German, but it seems like that's already enough. Kelly from Belgium and the Bloody Elf opening up the round on the B bomb. So now she gets pushed back, and a good answer by Hellrose, keeping it at a 4v4 and giving the terrorists a chance to still win this round.
Bomb will be planted. They've managed to get that crossover nicely. The problem is, this is one of the main ways to stay alive. They have to go a little bit more aggressive because the retake's so easy on this side. The problem is, it's not really working. Nasty are going to be the only one finding a frag. And in the end, it's just going to be a quick, easy defuse, of course. They will have a little bit of extra money thanks to that plant. They can also pick up a weapon. But will we see that AWP now? This can definitely be the factor. You said if they drop a player here, we may just see that AWP come straight back out for the CT side. And well, that is the main problem of that B site. It's very difficult to hold on. The way they did it, I like. I like the fact that they tried to go aggressive. That's one of the better ways to actually...
push to C connect, get some control,
But it didn't work. They got shut down, and CT side, they've now got their 4th round, and they're starting to get rolling.
Yeah, and that is troublesome to Team Heaven, at least. They haven't figured out a system to break the CTs yet. So they're trying a different execution this time around. It's going to be the A execution, a very generic one at that. And the CTs are prepared for that as well as you can be. Actually, they're going for the small fake now, so the terrorists will make their way into the B bomb site, and the CTs are not too well prepared for that. They still have to rotate around while Bloody Elf is hosing down the first, and she's stepping up so massively. 3 frags in this round. The bomb will be planted, but Heroes and Jinjin are alone against 4.
Yeah, and this position is absolutely horrific from Jinjin. It's so difficult to do. Obviously, the Molotov strat is the only one we really know from this position. The nade almost gets 2. So much damage, and she almost manages to pull it off. That was a bit poor from the CT side, I feel. They should have had at least one player just watching upper.
Wow.
But they do manage to get away with it. They do keep the round, but how close was that?
Jinjin almost aced them, and she only had a Galil and a nade to work with. That was way too close for reason, but the CTs are happy to have built up some momentum and some money as well. But they have to invest so much that 2 players are below 2,000. They go for the AWP, so they figure out, well, it's about time we change something.
Yeah, AWP is always going to be one of those big factors. It is currently holding a bit of an interesting angle. Can't see too much over towards this position, but we'll have a little bit of hope. They're not going to find anything, though, as the push again is coming towards that B site. And this is an interesting one. I know it was close in the last round. The buy is slightly better, but that came down so much to individual prowess. However, this time, a lot of damage being done. That nade not quite going to finish off one, but it's Hellrose to find the first frag. And here we go. This time, they're going aggressive again. Not going to work for the second time, as Tati manages to find one more, and this is where they really need to use these after-plant positions. No Molotovs for the bomb. They're just going to have to buy themselves as much time as possible. Antika will drop another player, but Jinjin's there with the trade. A little bit of team damage coming in as Kelly finds one more, and they are cleaning things up this time. It's not going to be as bad, and, well, Antika, 12 HP, has had to drop her AWP, and, well, this is looking pretty poor at this point. Faking the bomb, Shifty will finish things off.
Yeah, a solid round by Team Heaven, even though I was scared a little bit for that 5-man B push, especially because of the previous performances by Bloody Elf, who single-handedly stopped it. Really well executed fake, in my opinion. Now, Reason Gaming is running in some financial trouble. They will have this buy, but it's got to be their last if they don't win this round. So Team Heaven with a chance to close in, make it 5-4, and 4 rounds on the T side. That's a good start, especially 4 out of 9.
Well, the other thing is, though, is you have to look at it the other perspective. Team Heaven, they've won one round. If they lose the next, they're in the same problem. So it really is a double-edged sword at this stage. The other thing that I noticed in the last round as well was, you said Bloody Elf, they did so well in the previous one. This time it was DSH, and I was kind of thinking, well, why are you switching it if it isn't broken?
Yeah.
You don't need to change it, but either way, clearly
they're playing a game that's released by Valve.
Yeah.
It definitely shows.
I suppose. But Nasty are going to be holding a bit of an angle here. They're just waiting to try and find something, but it's going to be Riley to actually go aggressive and find the first frag. Tati finds another one. Now this push is looking a little bit lackluster. There's only 3 players pushing from different angles. Bloody Elf, she could end this all on her own, pushing him from behind. Nastia has managed to find one, but, well, Bloody Elf may not even be needed here.
No, they actually shoot at her as well. So there's definitely still some communication to be improved on by the players, at least where they want to peak. And of course, there's no question on who's going to win this one. Reason are right back on track after losing that one round, and Team Heaven, that is really sick.
Yeah, this is sort of the StarLadder thing to do. They did this over at iLeague as well. Edit some of the game code.
Yeah.
It's a nice touch, especially when you look for the Easter eggs around the map. So we may have to see if we can spot any more. I'm sure that's not the only one. I may be wrong, but I remember iLeague, they had posters of Edward, wanted posters all around the map. So
I wonder how many observer accounts already banned for for changing the game code. Well, is that a small pause now? I think it is. We're going to see if that's a tactical pause, because I wouldn't actually blame Team Heaven for using a tactical pause at that stage of the game. They are quite far behind. They just lost their economy. They know they have to get at least 3 more rounds on the T side, and there are not too many rounds to be played anymore in this half. So let's see. Yeah, it is a tactical pause, so let's see what they come up with here on the T side. They tried a few different setups, the B rush, the A go, then they had the A fake and the B execution. So there is still some kind of a few templates that they can put together differently. Like the fake worked out quite well, but it was the one player, Bloody Elf, shutting them down.
yeah, for sure.
So maybe they can try it again and hope that Bloody Elf isn't around or isn't as good as the round before.
Well, that's the thing as well. Like, you can't expect a player to do like a triple spray down every round. So it is a thing with teams that they get disheartened from a site because something like that happens. But we saw them just return to it the very next round. Like, oh, will you be at this time? Or we're going to do the same again and crush you. You won't expect us to do it. So element of surprise, I guess.
Yeah, it seems a little less tactical at first. But nobody expects you to go for the B bomb site, let's say 3-4 times in a row. So eventually they're going to stop covering it as thoroughly as they did at the start, because they think, okay, they went B 3 times in a row now. I think they're going to go A, because the other team is trying to outsmart you. But by that, they outsmart themselves.
Oh, God. This buy is well, what I like to call an interesting one coming out from the T side. We see a couple of pistols, or 3 pistols in fact, along with some rifles. This is of course the problem of having an economic drought, and they will try and just force into this one so that they don't have to double eco. So let's see if they can make something here. It is going to be the B rush. Bloody Elf back in position, and there we go again. Double spray from her. However, quick trades coming in. The pistols doing their damage, and that's only going to leave a 3 versus 3.
Yeah, and Jinjin picked up the AK. Kelly gets her hands on the M4A1, and Jinjin with the frag onto DSH. Tati with a reply, though. The CT is in a good position now. The terrorists quite low on HP, but they make it a 2v1 nonetheless, and that's how important playing together is. Even though you're low on HP, you can use each other to get the advantage. Now Tati sets up that ninja defuse. The incendiary grenade is not gonna work on the terrorists. They are on lower, and they push through the smoke. Tati with the first, and then she goes down to Jinjin. Team Heaven with the 3rd round on top of that triple kill of Jinjin.
So very close yet again. The play from her was a smart one. Molotov off upper and try and wait for them to come through ramp. She didn't expect both at the same time, though. And like you said, they were playing off each other. There was a huge risk there. Obviously, she could have had a double spray just by fluke because they were so low. But obviously, she's not going to expect both players to do that. And in fact, that has reset the CT side. So this sort of aggression from Heaven with the aggressive buys, the risky buys, is paid off. It could have gone very, very wrong gone the other way. But, well, that's the power of hindsight. They've made it work. And now we're going to see, well, likely a 6-4, although nice work with the pistol DSH. Antika also pushing in from behind.
Yeah, Shifty getting that reply. Antika is already spotted, so she's out of this round for now. Riley isn't, though. Headshot on to Kelly. Replied on by Nastia, and Antika is not out of this round. Look at that double kill, and Tati finishes the round. Reason Gaming is back at it. What is going on with them? They are the Eco Kings.
That was ridiculous, especially the fact that most people, when they get kills with the 5.7, you talk about there's 20 bullets because they spam.
Yeah.
She didn't spam. She just walked around one tap, one tap. Absolutely incredible stuff. And we're talking about well, I said it's likely they'll get to 4. Never mind, I guess. Pistols are the power.
The caster's curse.
Kelly even buying a Zeus in this round, so we'll see what she can do with that. It's not very rewarding in terms of money, but you can take a lot away. But just look at the buy again. Antika back on the AWP. Nades definitely favoring, well, everything favoring that CT side, but we just saw Reason do it with the pistols. Why not Team Heaven?
Definitely, and they have 4 Tech 9s, really dangerous guns, and they tried to use it at Ivy. And look at that! Teddy didn't know who to shoot first. She kind of waved around a little bit, dealt some damage, but it wasn't enough. The CTs go down. Now they come back, though. Antika and DSH. DSH having some trouble on the spray. Shifty with a reply. It's a 2v2.
Yeah, the bomb dropped in a bit of a decent position, though, ready for Antika, and she has an AWP, so she should be able to hold that angle pretty convincingly. Obviously, the other player in connector, so they do have a bit of a crossfire here. Antika, the mistake may be to go overly aggressive in this scenario, as, of course, the bomb is by her side. They now know where she is as well. However, she's got to be careful. Kelly with that Tech 9 could be absolutely brutal if she's not careful into this round. Of course, oh, the cross, not quite going to take the shot. You almost hope that she accidentally misclicks, but it doesn't happen. 2 versus 2. Still sort of favoring, look at the Molotovs as well, but CTs, they should be able to cope with this one.
Yeah, they're going for the rotation towards B, though. The Incinerate keeps them from really going through with it. Now Antika is really close. She puts down the first one. Shifty gets rid of the bomb. Nice spray onto Antika, makes it a 1v1. But the HP isn't really favoring her. She has the first spot on Bloody Elf, though. Going for the encounter. Missed by Bloody Elf. Now the question is, where is Shifty? 7 HP. She gets shot in the face, and Bloody Elf will have a heads-up play there, picking up the AWP and going for the defuse.
They've done the gloves again as well. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
They got all the reason and love. I love the gloves. I would love Valve to add those in. I'd pay for those to have like.
Me too. That would be a
secret
good
gloves
addition.
look badass.
Yeah.
Also, I think my favorite ones though were Godsent. Like have the like sort of Illuminati eye on the gloves. Just. But that's not important, of course. The important thing is reason. They do get away with that one. Very, very close. And clearly, Heaven still feeling confident with those pistols. Are going to come straight back in with another buy. This does have risk behind it. Of course, they are getting close to a point where they never actually get a buy. Like, they haven't had a full buy. They haven't had an AWP onto Jinjin once. And that is her weapon of choice. But anyway, we see the aggression straight away coming out onto A site. And Antika is going to take the first pick.
Yeah, good start for the CTs. She also lines up a second, but misses the shot. In the meantime, Riley and DSH stepped up, so it's a 1v5 already. Kelly's going to be sprayed on by DSH as well. Reason feeling happy about this half, and rightfully so. They did everything they could, and everything worked as well. Apart from that one round where Team Heaven only had those 2 rifles. But I give them that one-off round.
Yeah, well, the real problem for Team Heaven is even when they do win the rounds, they're not able to capitalize on having the better buy. We saw them lose to Pistols multiple times in the second round and later on where they had a buy. So it is a little bit of a worrying factor here. Of course, you don't need a huge amount of rounds, but, well, they're going to try and get another one here. This time it is just with Pistols. The idea, of course, was to get the bomb down. It has not been the case, and, well, another perfectly clean round. The economy is going to be absolutely booming at this point.
Indeed, and that's what the CTs need, some amount of money in the bag. Well, he's having some fun, and I think the crowd is overall mainly male, but quite entertained, at least so far, otherwise it wouldn't sit there. And, you know, on the CT side, when you're always on the edge of a save, it puts so much pressure on you and the individual players. Now they have some room for error as well, and that will maybe make them even stronger.
Jinjin again finding that first frag, but as said, she already hasn't been able to get her AWP. The trades are coming either side, and it looking like the bomb this time will go down. And the afterplant positions on the A site are normally pretty good. Jinjin finding another frag, definitely been the most noticeable player so far for Team Heaven, but either way, it's going to be back into a 3 versus 2. As said, the afterplant positions are very, very good at this stage, and while DS, she might as well go for this. She has plenty of money, I imagine, but here goes the Molotov. Will she actually get the kill after the round, though? And Jinjin, triple kill again.
Yeah, and 14 HP remained for Nastia. Well, the Incinerate could have opened up that 1v3, but she was pinned down anyway. Last round of this half, Team Heaven with the 4th round, so they can make it 10-5, which would be okay, in my opinion, on terrain. And Bloody Elf and Antika going for the 2 orbs, so I'm really curious to see Bloody Elf on the scope.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I feel like the rifle players have been better so far. Lovely shot through flash. Missed shot there from Bloody Elf. She actually goes aggressive here. They do line up, and she actually, I think, hits 2 tags in that moment. But unfortunately, they're going to rush straight out, and now it's going to be down 10. Tiska misses the shot again, so this is a little bit of a problem as they're now going to have the site, have the bomb down, the flank. gets taken down by Nastia, but there's the pick. 3 versus 3, and this should definitely be doable. Kelly will find one more, though, and this is getting more and more difficult.
Yeah, the 2v2 now coming up as Antika gets her 3rd frag of the round. She's on the ace, ladies and gentlemen. Tati trying to cover her as she's faking the bomb. She lets loose of it, though, and the smoke is covering them. Oh, and good spray by Nastia, putting the CTs down to low HP. Jin is still alive as Tati gets rid of Nastia. And now they go for the defuse, but Jin from above will take down the first one. Antika needs to get the 4th kill, but she's not. It's Team Heaven winning the last round of this half. A 10-5. It's definitely okay for both sides.
Yeah, and that was an important round because obviously 11-4, it feels like a much worse scoreline looking at it. But Jin again, I think she's 17-11 now, been the big player on her team, really making those big plays when necessary. The main problem there, though, is the missed AWP shot because they did have Antika actually holding the angle while the defuse was coming in. Second she defused, Antika holding it, misses the shot, and Jin's just given a free kill in the end. But, well, here we go, some nice clips, Bloody Elf.
Yeah.
Definitely, well, on that B site, we have to talk about the fact that it is individuals, of course, that normally hold the B site. You have Taz as one big name who's always over there. I think Seized plays it for Na'Vi.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pressure, but she did very, very well.
Yeah, we didn't see too much aggression. Taz plays it very aggressively, for example. He likes to smoke off the top of ramp and then pushes right behind the pillar, so he's standing on top of the railing, having some vision. And we didn't see that of the female teams yet, but maybe Team Heaven, they probably want to get a good start, so the CT pistol is going to be really important. And after that, the first rifle round, I think we're going to see some tricks because both of the teams know who's going to win the first rifle round is going to have the edge.
Well, and also, the thing I'm looking at the moment, look at the amount of utility brought into this first round from Reason Gaming. Yeah, only one player with armor. This is something that the female teams do quite often. Obviously, Team Heaven completely relying on the Angels. It's actually quite reasonable on Train because there are a lot of long angles to actually play. And that's why you can actually see this smoke strategy come out because they want to get as close as they can. They want to guarantee a bomb plant. So clearly they have practiced this map. It's not something they're just walking into blind. But let's see how this actually goes. We've got some close-up players. It is a fake. They are actually rotating the bomb away. And Kelly and Shifty, they've started things off with a couple of kills. Now we're going to look for the third. And Riley, well, is actually going to decide to back away. Kelly, I'm not sure how she's still alive and is finally taken down, but it's a little bit too late. Riley is the raid boss. Tech9 and armor, but, well, it's very, very bleak at this stage.
What can she do against the long-range USPs? It's going to be tremendously hard for her. And she also has to... The CT's positions are impeccable now. They are basically all together, and they can rotate so quickly. And wherever she's going to be seen, the CTs are going to swarm her. Riley's looking for the frag. She knows that she has to make it a 2v1 first before she tries to even plant the bomb or think of planting the bomb. And there is the headshot onto Jin. She doesn't know that one player is in heaven. She's going to be fired on from above. That's Shifty on 32, and she gets flanked at the same time. Good play by Team Heaven, to be honest. Just holding those angles, being patient as well.
I actually really like that from Shifty as well because what she did there, she shot and then went back and hid. Just like, I'm going to bait you to looking around, not know where I'm from, and then have another player push in at the same time. 4 rifles actually brought up here. You can see Jin is going to just go with a pistol. And actually, we're going to see a straight eco from Reason, which I find very surprising because they've been so good with the pistols so far. I'm really surprised to see this, but clearly they want their full buy as quickly as possible. Running in with the Glock. The ideal situation here is a bomb plant. It would allow them to buy early, but wow, look at that spray. Nastia ends up finding 2 players, I think with 1 bullet, and that's pretty ridiculous in itself. But 10-7, Heaven, they've done what was necessary for sure. They needed to get themselves back quickly. They're still going to have their rifles, and we're actually looking like we're going to see another save come out here from Reason.
Yeah, no other choice for Reason, though. Yeah, the decision to not buy anything in the second round, it's okay in my opinion, but going for A without smoke, that's a little weird, to be honest, because you have to cover quite some distance, and the CTs would be really stupid if they wouldn't look in those angles. So let's see if Reason can plant the bomb right now, or if they can do some damage, because economy is going to play a big role down the line. You have 5 women, stacked up at Ivy. 5 players, and Riley with the first kill onto Nastia. It's, well, they get those kills. It doesn't matter what.
And, well, just look at this. It is turning into a cleanup. Obviously, the start, it was like, there was a little bit of hope, and Heaven decided to crush them back down. Obviously, we talk about already the fact that the Ts will now have the money to buy, but the CTs, they've had some pretty clean rounds coming in, so their money's looking pretty good. They're actually going to trade up a couple of weapons there, so we've got the AWP in play now. It's actually been dropped over to Jinjin. So we'll see what she can actually do here. And she was the player I highlighted at the beginning as someone who will need to step up with that AWP. And Tika, haven't actually seen too much from her. She had a couple of nice rounds, but she's going to have to try an entry with that AWP, and that's going to be another big factor. Can she find the first pick?
Yeah, she's, well.
No, is the answer in this round.
Yeah, I was about to say she's looking for it, but Jinjin was a little quicker on the trigger. The 5v4 in favor of Team Heaven in this first rifle round. Now, Reason still has those 2 rounds to work with. You know, if they lose this round, Team Heaven will make it 10-10. So it's not really that big of a problem, but the economy could be. And DSH is pulling it back to a 4v4. Now, the terrorists is slowing it down, and I really like that because they have to give the CT some time to make their own mistakes, and then they can try and abuse that.
Yeah, especially in the 4v4, you need to have that information game quickly. Obviously, if they do push onto that B side, there's only going to be one player there, although we do already have Jinjin with the AWP, and this could be quite a nice read from them. If she's able to hold up her and stop them sort of splitting onto that site, it could work very, very nicely. Obviously, it's still going to rely heavily on what Kelly is able to do here, but here we go. Smoke going to be thrown in. That will give them a little bit of a chance to get that bomb down a little more quickly than we expected. However, the Molotov counter nades are going to be thrown out. Kelly playing close to the smoke will mean that that push is going to come in, and if that smoke fades, it could all be over. She's going to hear them going. She's going to go through the smoke. This is almost Stewie 2KS because she sprays one down and gets the second. Tech9, will she find the third? Not quite, but she's done a hell of a lot of damage, and now there's a 3 versus 2, and the retake's going to be coming in.
Really good timing there on the smoke push, giving the CTs a very good chance. Now it's DSH against the rest of the CTs. She's trying the same move, kind of trying to get in the back of the CTs, but it's not going to happen. Yeah, the CTs with a good streak here at the start of the second half, and that's exactly what we needed to get a close game, and that's what we want.
Well, I think I said 16-12, so fingers crossed. Maybe I could be an analyst one day. But
if you grow up. If. It's not when you grow, it's if. But you would have to get Visor for EU soon.
Shh. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. We'll be saved by someone. We won't leave. But yeah, we have straight AKs this round, no AWP, so Jinjin will have that long range advantage. Looks like they are taking this a little bit slower, setting up some smokes over towards the site. They have had some setups so far, but they're only really used for a fake. Hellrose, perfect positioning here. Not actually checked by Bloody Elf, but in the meantime, Antika has found a trade, and Riley finds another one. Will get stuck in the Molotov. That nade has worked out perfectly. Shifty, a little bit, well, risky switching weapons right there, but either way, it is going to be a 2 versus 2. Nades heavily in favor of the CT side, but the one thing that the Ts do have is time. They have got plenty of time.
Yeah, sadly for them, they have to collect the bomb still, and Jinjin has a good angle onto TSH. She's not going to miss that shot. Tati coming in from behind, though. She might surprise Jinjin there. Good spray down. Now she knows where the last CT is. Kelly and Popdog. She's got eyes on the bomb. Tati knows where she is. Now, how are they going to play it? Tati just shuts her down. What a shot. That sounded like a car crash.
Yeah, that was the train sound was perfect there to set off the headshot. But very nice play from her. The flank was not expected at all. You could see Jinjin, the second the bullet started spraying, almost panicked and just decided to jump. But yeah, it's now going to be 11-9, and that was a big round for the Ts. The only problem is they now have to capitalize, and this could actually work out better for Team Heaven if they're able to win this one and completely reset that T economy.
It depends on how many players would stay alive for Team Heaven, though. So let's see how much damage and if Reason can win this round as well. They are definitely with the hands on the steering wheel. They are not on the driving seat yet, but they are trying to go for it. DSH with the first one onto Hellrose. The CTs spread out across the map. 2 players inside the A bomb site. Nasty is holding on to Ivy, and we've got Kelly on the B bomb site on her own. And the terrorists are still taking their time.
And this is a problem with Hellrose has been quite often. She is very, very aggressive, and you'll see her fall quite often. Occasionally she'll get the big plays, but luckily for her, as I think she's the in-game leader, I'm pretty sure, so she can sort of now oversee by doing these overzealous strategies. It was what Happy used to do a lot on Cash, where he'd go very, very aggressive, and then he'd be the overseer of the round. So 4 versus 4. Obviously, the T side, they do have some utility onto Bloody Elf and Riley, but the other two players have very little to play with. Also, a couple of Galils.
And information on Nastia.
But they're, yeah, Nastia actually going to fall.
I shouldn't have mentioned her name.
Yeah, you cursed her. But, yeah, it's now going to be that 3 versus 4. And, well, actually gave some utility over to DS as well, so even better for the Ts.
Yeah, and they know, well, Team Heaven had some big information on the A-bomb set, so let's go 4B. We've got Kelly still holding on to that angle, but she's getting pushed from above and nobody there to help her. Jinjin isn't C-connected, but she couldn't see then. Now Antika is pushing for it. Oh, what a shot by Jinjin! I don't know how she got that off. 2v3 now. The CTs with a good chance to retake the bomb site with they have plenty of utility.
Yeah, they also have the HP advantage. However, Riley just has that reaction timing to take down Shifty. The AWP is still in play. Jinjin, she is slightly going for this now. Needed to find that shot, and Elf will actually shut her down, which now is going to leave problems for that CT side economy. And I feel like that is really going to be a horrible deal there, as they're now pretty much reset. And my prediction is slowly fading away.
12-9. Team Heaven with the 4 spy now. A Nova for Kelly, CZ75, 5-7, Famous and a Scout. So I don't really know what I should think about that. But
that's what I have to say.
Jinjin has no armor either. So, and there are not too many jump angles on train with a Scout. You really have to go in. Now they have that aggressive push in Hellrose. That's the aggression you talked about. Kelly wrecks up another one. It's a 4v3 already. Riley having some trouble. DSH though getting rid of Jinjin. Gets the A-bomb set under control, or so it seemed, because Shifty gets another one onto Antika.
That's an AWP dropped as well, so they do have to be careful that that doesn't fall into the hands. Of course, with free AWP would be really detrimental, but so would the round. It's still a 3 versus 2. The T's, well, Riley has some health, but she's getting tagged down. The Famous of Nasty are doing some nice work. She's not quite spotted the second player and will actually fall because of it, but either way, it's still a 2 versus 1. DS, she does have the bomb. She has a rifle, which is something Shifty doesn't have, but she's so low on HP. Shifty, oh, the timing! It's not quite there, and I'm not sure where the support was. Luckily, Kelly will fall in the end, and it doesn't look like she'll retain the AWP either, so at least that's something, but don't know how they won that round.
Yeah, that was some magic coming out. That was definitely the aggression paying off. Kelly pushing Pop Dog together with Hellrose, the first 2 frags in a round. I think it also caused reason to panic a little bit, and then they tried to slow it down again. You were able to see that. They were hanging out in A main a little bit, just waiting. And then Shifty comes in, and another surprise frag. Now it's a basic mop-up round. DSH will not make it as basic, but it's only one sacrifice the CTs had to give.
Yeah, and well, that's the thing. Normally when you go for an aggression, you go aggressive initially, and then you fall back with the advantage.
Yeah.
Not when you're Team Heaven. You go aggressive again, and Reason were just like, well, wasn't expecting that. So they definitely have that element of surprise. That's something to say for sure. And they are actually going to buy up quite a bit here. Well, both sides, actually. It's going to be a deagle on Tantica, but they've spent so much money in this round, even for the CT side, because they bought up an AWP for Jinjin to have. So a lot of money invested here. Hopefully she'll be able to make an impact, and we can see, look, Hellrose every round goes aggressive. This could be a problem, though, because they do know it's coming. Not in this scenario. Not sure what bloody hell lighting up the smoke. But eventually they will get wise to it, and that's where problems could arise.
Yeah, if Team Heaven uses that push again, they should really be punished for that.
Oh, it didn't come in situation. I was just waiting for her to get in behind them, just going all the way around, so aggressive. But they brought it back to 12-12. They are now on that favored side of the map, so you do have to favor them here. And look at the economy. That forced, it didn't do justice for what they invested into that Reason, because they had, what, a few rifles?
They
I
had
think
4
a
rifles,
deagle, as well. So that wasn't really enough, and you taking away that factor of Antika with the AWP, which she was good with in the first half, and although it hasn't had too much of an impact so far, you don't just take it out of the equation altogether, especially when the duels are so long range on this map.
Yeah, and the P250 is back in the hands of the terrorists, but obviously chances should be slim for them to win the round. Now, we have said that plenty of times,
Yeah.
and we've been wrong a lot. So I won't call this a day at all, especially because the CTs only have Kelly inside the bomb site, and the terrorists are closing in on upper. Now, if that lower push can draw the attention away, now the terrorists have slipped through Kelly's fingers. She gets the first one, sprays down the second. The third one will get her, though. Jin with another one for the CT. So the bomb will be planted. That's already the first objective out of the way.
Yeah.
Bloody Elf will try and get some more kills, but it doesn't really matter. Wow, 1 HP left, 4 Hell Rose.
Yeah, well, that was ultimately the goal there. That's mainly why you go towards the B site with pistols. It's very easy to get that plant down. You take down the one player, that's a bomb plant. That's extra 4 grand spread across your team. So I'd say that that's definitely what was necessary. It should also allow for an AWP to come in for Antika as well. So that's going to be an important factor. And there you go, it is in play. And, well, she is second top fragger for her team at the moment. But you just look at the AWP she's up against, 27-15. Jin is having a pretty big game.
Yeah, DSH on the other side on 26, if I'm not mistaken. So they kind of they balance each other out, so to speak. And you can tell on the scoreline, it's 13-12.
I like this.
Now, a really cool angle by Jin.
I don't think I've actually seen that before.
Me neither.
Which is, you don't...
Maybe that's one of the secrets, that they got from hanging out with some of the main players as well, or they came up with themselves.
Yeah, well, the other thing, not just the boost. The boost was smart, but the thing I really like is the fact that Nastia threw the smoke and went aggressive, so that if they would know straight away if anybody came in that direction. The only problem is now they have to react very quickly to this push, and there goes Hellrose. Junjin will trade, but it's still going to be a 3-for-3, and this means that she's slightly isolated here. Obviously, the AWP will make a big play in this round, but it's got to make sure she doesn't get isolated. Kelly, the only flank player as well, will fall. And this is actually going to turn back into advantage. So initially, a very nice start to the round will fall back. And now that we've already mentioned the fact that after plant positions on the A site are very, very good, it's going to be difficult. But Nastia will manage one. Jin has actually brought this back into a possibility.
How did that go down to the 1v1? Tati with 46 HP. She's at heaven, looking down there. And the CT didn't know anything about her position. Good play by the terror, salvaging this round. It was about to slip away. And the key kill was DSH on Pop Dog. She was carrying the bomb. She was pushed from behind, but she held her angle. She was patient enough, and then she got the kill. Otherwise, there would have been backstab.
Well, the real problem for me there as well was we see this a lot on Train. So the A after plant positions we saw in the first half from Team Heaven, they're very, very overpowered. You can hide in so many different places and just peek the bomb. They went aggressive. They went very aggressive towards the 2 CTs to take the guns out and almost cost themselves a round. Hellrose, well, she's doing exactly what she does best at the beginning of this round. Going to find the first frag by going very aggressive. Of course, Team Heaven, their economic stance is not going to be too overpowered at this stage. Obviously, just losing a round. They want to win this one straight back and try and reset the T's. So another very crucial round. Of course, this could actually lead to one of the teams taking the map.
Yeah, this will count as double. And then we are on 15-13. So you can tell the players are getting a little more tense. The CTs holding their positions, not going for any more aggression anymore. And Hellrose on top of that Train. Why doesn't she get picked or at least checked and fired upon? A 3v2 nonetheless, thanks to DSH doing something. But Riley is alone against 3 CTs, and now she's going to be spotted as well. You can see all the nades coming her way. 6 HP remain. And there she goes. Shifty with the last kill. Team Heaven won the 14-13. No bomb planned. Money is really bad for a reason. Team Heaven with a good chance.
We have Jin on a 30 bomb. As you said, DSH now very, very close to a 30 bomb, 1 kill away. So definitely some star performances coming in. But yeah, the economy is not in a good position at the moment. I think the ideal scenario is to get a bomb plant here to improve their position. But I do have to mention the fact that Team Heaven are playing off each other very, very well. They have that chemistry, even with a stand-in. So it's very, very impressive. Here is Kelly, the lone wolf over towards this site. Does have some teamwork coming in here as Jin's still over there. They do not want to let them get this bomb plant. This is a nice read coming out. The only thing, she has to be very careful from the flank. They are trying to stop her getting anywhere near. But I like this. They don't want to let them get that bomb plant. Yeah,
the flank is coming in as well. So she goes for a peek to get the info in case she would have gone down the flanker, the backstabber. Nastia, is it? is or would have had some more information about the whereabouts of the terrorists. Now DSH is gonna run into Nastia. Really unfortunate timing for a Team Heaven with 15 to 13, and we have some bad manners as well, trying to instigate their opponents.
Yeah, DS hits that 30 frag, but unfortunately it was just one player. Didn't affect the CT economy at all. The buy, you can see the difference it's made. Yes, there's some nades in play, but a couple of Galils. There's not really too many Molotovs. They have a couple, so not going to be the ideal buy. And Team Heaven, they've done well here. They've got themselves working. They've got themselves rolling. Now they've got to close it out. And Jinjin, she's going to start this off nicely, finding the first pick, having a phenomenal game. The player who was highlighted didn't get the AWP too much in the first half, but here is Tati, finds a double frag. 3 versus 3, make that a 2 as Bloody Elf finds another one. But look at this aggression. Kelly and Shifty combine. They brought it back, and now we see both teams at almost the opposite sides of the map.
Yeah, they traded places, and the terrorists figure that it's the easiest way to win the round by planting on B, or at least they try to do so at this moment. Now 1 minute 10 on the clock, so plenty of time for Reason to also wait and let the CTs make a mistake, but now they are getting a little impatient and they want to make their push. They want to get rid of the bomb as soon as possible. Team Heaven, with a heads-up play, they went for Pop Dog, so they have really quick rotations to either bomb site. And that's what they use right now. Kelly's already in the brown halls. Tati with the kill. Really heads up play by her to take the initiative in this 2v2 and get in the face of the CTs. Shifty is still around. She's in a 1v2. Tati and DSH on very low HP, but Shifty doesn't have too much either. And she's getting sprayed down from above. Tati is closing it down and making it 15 to 14. What a round again.
Yeah, another sort of surprising point. Tati making big plays there that were necessary for them to actually come out and win that one. Of course, the CTs, they do have the money to buy back into this final round, and the Ts, they did lose quite a few players, but I think they will just about have enough. Didn't manage to salvage an AWP, so Antica not going to have that. But this is still a better buy than they had in the last round. But let's see whether or not we see a reaction from Team Heaven.
Yeah, they are not going for their go-to aggression. It's just default positions for now. Helrose is underneath Pop Dog, and she gets another kill. And Helrose is all over the place. It's kind of, at the same time, you think they must be able to predict her, because she pushes everywhere. But at the same time, if she pushes everywhere, it's really hard to predict her at the same time.
It's like that JW thing. It's like the fear of JW. Because you do not know where he will be on any map. And when he goes into that sort of wreck face mode, there's not really too much you can do about it. It's a very scary factor, but Helrose is in that mode at the moment. She has been punished a few times, but this time they get the first frag, and that's an important frag as well. Bloody Elf has definitely been one of the big players over towards that T-side team, but DS, Riley, they've had their moments as well. Tati in the last round, so not counting them out just yet. Antica not on her AWP, but can still expect some stuff from her. But now the clock begins to tick. 45 seconds left. They've got to make their play. It does look like it's going to be towards that A site as we do see the bomb. But this could all come down to what Nastia can do. If she can drop it, the round could end.
Yeah, and she's got good support as well. Shifty is at Heaven, and Helrose is at the bomb site. So 3 players stacked up on the bomb site. Good trade by Antica, keeping it alive for the terrorists. A 4v3 now. DSH is stepping in. She misses up the spray. Helrose and Shifty with the replies. It's Tati alone. How much can one player do? I mean, she got a quad kill in the previous round. Now she's in a 1v3. She already turned it into the 1v3 on her own. So she's really trying to work herself back. 8 seconds on the clock, though. And there it goes. Team Heaven with the first map out of 3. And it's their map pick.
I was close.
Yeah.
I was 2 rounds off. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But
well,
yeah, no, nice round. And Jinjin has to be the highlighted player. Helrose have to put into perspective as well that her aggression was a really big deal. Like, it paid off, I think, more times than it failed, for sure.
Yeah.
And without it, well, they just had no info. So it was really nice stuff for her. But Jinjin as well, just holding down with that AWP. I think she had, what, 33 frags or something along those lines.
Even in the first half, when she wasn't necessarily only on the AWP, she was really sick. I mean, good performances by both teams. Also, in the eco rounds, the Pisses have been really strong. I'm really curious to see the second map unfold. It's Cash, where Pisses can be even stronger.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Wow, that's going to be an interesting matchup. We are going to be right back with the second map between Team Heaven and Reason.